Shalom, and all praises to Yahweh, Yahweh Shah, and double honors to the elders of GMS, and all the Akim out there pushing the truth throughout the four corners of the earth. And I wanted to talk on the subject tonight about Esau and the power of his television. And, you know, in reality, you know, Negroes and Hispanics and Native Americans have never really gotten along with the so-called white man. History proves that. But it's like delusional when us tribes, we look at the television and everybody's getting along. You got all the Super Bowl commercials. And I'm not just talking about the Super Bowl, I'm just talking about everyday life. And you see these things, and the TV, which I call the Hellivision, because all it's going to do is get the tribes destroyed, believing this bullshit that the so-called white man pumps out. And so, looking at the television, it makes you think that everybody's getting along good. There's no problems. You know, I can walk up to Edomite's house, his farm, and he's going to have a Budweiser smile. He's going to give me some hot dogs, and everybody's going to go out marching and singing and having a good time. And that's delusion. That is delusion. If you Negroes go walk on one of these devil's lines, he's going to blow you away. And if he doesn't have nothing on you, he's going to plant something on you. The sheriff's going to come, haul your body with the meat wagon, case closed. You would be some type of thug that was coming to rob him. So you've got to get your heads out of the Hellivision, out of this death box, out of this delusion of this man's television, because a lot of you are basing your opinion about the so-called white man on a television. And then when you get out into the real world and you're friends with him, and all of a sudden you're at a predominantly Edomite party, and the word nigger comes up, and then you're looking crazy, like you don't know what to do. Well, I can't believe he said that. Well, yes, you should believe that he said that, because he's your enemy. He's your enemy by birth, by biblical. I mean, in the scriptures, he's just your natural born enemy. He was born to be your enemy and a thorn in your side, and used as an authority and a punishment to the nation of Israel, not to be your friend. And so, you know, like the scripture says in Isaiah 6, I was wroth with my people, talking about the Most High, and I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand, talking about the so-called white man. Thou didst show them no mercy, upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And our slavery and our bondage to this man, and the constant riots, and the like the scripture says in Deuteronomy about the curses of Israel, the bywords, have broken us down and have caused us to be self-conscious about the way we look. You know, our women have blonde hair and they're bleaching their skin. A lot of the men, it's not so much the Israelite man, but even some of the times the Israelite man, he'll flip out and he might get blonde hair and start looking like, crazy like Dennis Rodman, and going all out in left field and doing crazy things. And so the slavery and captivity has destroyed our people, and the Most High, of course, to the brothers out there that's in the truth, the slavery and oppression has broken our people down, and we're willing to accept anything from our enemies to put food on the table and provide for our families the best way we can. And most of the time, this devil hasn't even done that. Most of us is selling dope, or if or if you're not doing that, you're in the entertainment, his entertainment, and you've got to bend over or be a whore or a lesbian or a homosexual just to make it. So this man has destroyed and polluted the Most High's heritage. And I'm going to go into Jeremiah 17:4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. And that forever basically means that the Most High decides to take our punishment away and put us back into the land of Israel, where we originally came from, all the 12 tribes that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth to this day. And it just amazes me how the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans will base their opinions on this devil's Hellivision. It's 24 hours, 7 days a week, full of pumped out bullshit. That's false advertisement. If you don't read the fine print, you're going to get screwed over. Well, if you get this for 99 cents, you'll get one free, but the fine print says you got to buy a Coke with it. Or you get this hotel for $35 if you show up by Thursday, but the fine print says you gotta your family's got to eat breakfast or something. There's always a dang on switch, and it's lure and bait and then switch with this devil. There's nothing pure about him. And if you're going to live off the television's image of this man, and you're going to you think you're going to be his friend because Coca-Cola or Pepsi or Pizza Hut or Papa John's or whatever commercial he has looks like everybody's getting along eating hot dogs and hamburgers at a tailgate party, then you're sadly mistaken, and you're going to die in America. You better wake up, you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and come back to your heritage. Or you're just a dead man walking. Like I said, you might as well live like National Lampoon's Van Wilder and live like a frat boy the rest of your days, because it's going to be a terrible judgment for you. And let's see. Let me go into another scripture here. Let me go into Romans 11:8. According to it is written, the Most High had given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. So if the Most High hasn't woken you up to this truth and showed you, His name, given you His name, and giving you an understanding of these scriptures, you are in grave danger. So you cannot trust these other nations. They never had your best interest at hand. They never will. The Most High designed them to be that way. Especially the so-called white man. If you don't know by now he's the devil, then there's just no hope for you. And I'm gonna get ready to close out here. I'm going to the Apocrypha, and the Apocrypha, Sirach or Ecclesiastes, chapter 13, starting at verse 3. The rich man hath done wrong, and yet he threatened withal. The poor is wrong, and he must entreat also. So, the poor man in the society, especially us Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, if we do something, we rob a liquor store or something, this man wants you to be sorry. He wants you to give an account for it, but he doesn't want to give an account for the rape, robbery, and murder of the nation of Israel. The rich man doesn't want to say sorry. He doesn't want to apologize. When you got the Madoff scandal and Enron and all this stuff going on, and these certain scandals, these big corporate scandals, this bastard, gets off and ends up going to some vacation lounge, or he does, time in a bungalow that's all pimped out. And then he comes back and gets his job, 2 years later, and then gets a bonus. See, this devil, the rich man, this devil, he don't want to apologize for nothing. He's always right. But the poor man, the devil that helped our people be this way, he doesn't have to give an account according to him. Let me go on with verse 4 of chapter 13, Sirach. If thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. And that's so true. That's such a powerful statement right there, because he's using you Negroes, as Hispanics, Native Americans, to make millions of dollars off of him. Make millions of dollars off you, billions of dollars. And he uses you. And he doesn't love you. I mean, he's hugging you after the game, after you won him his trophy and whatnot, but he doesn't really care about you. You're just a pawn in his game. You're just a workhorse. Verse 5, if thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yea, he will make thee bear and will not be sorry for it. My brother, he hangs around with this Edomite relative of ours. His daddy's so-called white man, and our auntie, is Israelite. And so, until I was in the truth, I always accepted him as one of us. But he was always been a slick-tongued, conniving bastard. And he uses my brother all the time. And, as soon as my brother falls flat on his face and runs out of money, he quits coming around. But when my brother starts getting money, then he's right up under him. And he's just a devil, man. He's a brown-skinned devil. He's an Edomite, and that's why you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans need to know about bloodlines and who is who. And I'm gonna carry on here. I'm not gonna be too much longer here. I'm gonna go skip to verse 8. Beware thou that thou be not deceived and brought down in thy jollity, or joylity, meaning just because you're getting contracts and getting so-called good jobs, which really are pennies compared to what this devil's making. Some of you, blacks, especially the Negro woman, she'll get a job making $35,000, $40,000, and she's really made it. Ain't nothing in this world better than the so-called white man. He's just, and this bastard makes $30,000, $40,000 an hour. But you niggas think he's God and he's such a great. He's paying you pennies what he makes. I do. Sometimes I'll do online surveys to make extra money, and I just kicked one of them surveys to the curb today. You know what this damn devil did, man? He said, after I took the survey, he was like, yeah, you get $1, but it'll take it'll take 2 to 6 weeks for you to receive that $1. So I wrote them back. I told them, fuck you and your $1. I said, you rich, cheap bastard, and I can't wait till your piece of shit economy falls. Fuck you and don't send me nothing else. 2 to 6 weeks for $1. I got that sitting in a jar on my cabinet. I piss out $1 every day, and this bastard's gonna make me wait 2 to 6 weeks for a $1. But black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, this is your God, the so-called white man. This is the one that you think so highly of, who you try to model yourself after, when you don't realize your ancestors are the ones who built this country for him, while he sat on his fat, lazy white ass and didn't do nothing. So I'm gonna close out with that, man. And once again, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Shalom, Akim.